you remember how we do the intro for this?
I don't know. You edit me doing something stupid and then you roll the new song. You have a new song. Then just roll the new song. I give you all the intro you ever need.
This is the good life. Oh, this is the good life.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coffee and Cameras, brought to you by Eo7 Media, where Hilda and I like to sit down and talk about all things business, marketing, and branding oriented. My name is Jaysin.
I'm Hilda.
And together we are Eo7, and this is Coffee and Cameras. Hi, Hilda.
Hi.
Do you have coffee with you today? You have a coffee cup.
I have a coffee cup with some juice in it that's going to make me hate you less.
Wait, you have juice? Wait, okay, hold on. I got to extrapolate that entire sentence. There's a lot going on there.
No. Yes.
That story escalated very quickly.
It's coffee.
Is it, or is it juice? Because remember how we were talking last time where like we started off with coffee, then we went to tea, and then I always drank Dr. Pepper. Now I'm drinking milk and matcha. So it's I think coffee's just off the table. So yay, please don't hate me.
I won't hate you.
Because, hating someone takes away from the experience.
The customer service experience.
Customer service.
I'm sorry. I don't hate you. It just sometimes we rub each other the wrong way and we have to be professional and move on.
And I think being professional is the key point of
Yes.
this. Is what we're talking about
Yes.
today is that
No matter how your day is going, suck it up and deliver good customer service. Yeah.
at its very core, every business is about customer service,
Yes.
right? To some shape or form.
Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be in business.
Right. Now, I'm sure there's businesses out there that don't deal with anybody. They just deal with their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to interview someone like that who never works with any type of customer. That would be really interesting, but I can't think of anything. Anyway, everything is based around your customer, right? And
Yes.
what we preach to every client we work with is your customer comes first. Your customer comes first before your company name, because
Defining who your ideal customer is. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't sell to your customer
Right.
if your brand doesn't connect right.
Yes.
Right?
Agreed.
So everything is about customer service. But today we want to talk about the people who take that extra step, who
Yes.
go that extra mile.
Yes.
And this has been a subject for you and me for years.
Yes. And the sticker story should lead us off ASAP.
You want to start off with that?
Yes, because I heard it so many times and you alluded to it, and I'm and I still think it's the most ridiculous thing you have ever done or
It is.
gotten mad about. So
It
I want
is.
the people to see how ridiculous your mind is and why you hate a company, because it's so fucking funny. Go for it.
So first and foremost, let me say I am my mother's son, and I hold grudges.
Yes.
So
To the point where you have poisoned my mind that when I see the billboard driving into downtown, I actually say, that company sucks. And I say it in my mind, and then I'm like, it shouldn't suck to me because I never had any experience with them, but you are so jaded and you are so pissed. And it's not like that they did anything to you. It's just what they didn't do.
and there's no
No.
reason why I should be pissed.
Exactly. But it's a very interesting way of seeing how weird the people can be. They don't even know that you're mad at them, but you have told 100 people already. So, all right,
Maybe
50.
88. But,
All right.
So I do want to circle back to what you just said about you disliking them,
Which is-
as a knee-jerk reaction.
Yes.
Because that's interesting. Okay, so if we didn't hype up this story enough, going into any kind of purchase online, you buy a lot, right? You buy from Amazon, you buy from this, blah, blah, blah. You buy from different places.
Yep.
And I was at that time period where I bought this other thing. I was buying a lot of Etsy things, right? I had friends' weddings, I had birthdays, I was buying things. And we found on Etsy, a lot of people are, mom and pop type of styles, people working out of their homes,
Right.
things like that, right?
Right.
So they send something small,
An extra
They send something extra.
handwritten note, stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ordered from Sam, I ordered some bags for Eo7, like little bags, like they were considered makeup cases, but like I gave it to you. I'm like, oh, they can be for memory cards or batteries or whatever. So,
And we'll get to that because
Yeah.
we actually have those examples.
but
So
that's the customer service you were used to for a while.
That's the customer service I was used to.
Yes.
So like I buy from a coffee place, they send you stickers. I buy my beard oil, they send stickers.
Okay.
And the stickers aren't just their logo, but they're like fun things and their logo.
Yeah.
You know, like
a little saying or
yeah, something
something
fun.
cute. Okay.
So, for instance, I use Viking Revolution beard oil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like it smells good, it feels good, but they keep sending me free shit,
Like what?
like stickers.
What does the sticker say?
Like the sticker will be like, you know, like be a Viking or something
Okay,
similar like that, right?
okay.
And so it goes on my
That's
coffee,
cute, yeah.
my travel mug, and I love that, and I got used to that, and I was very used to having stickers because the stickers are pretty cool,
right. And then you started printing stickers for our company.
So I
then we
did
started
it for
giving
our
them
own.
away and putting it on
Bingo.
places.
So it
Yeah.
became a very normal thing.
Gotcha.
So I bought a new car, and the first thing I did was I bought floor mats for the car, but I wanted to go online and make sure I was getting the right ones because I don't want to replace them after a year or two. I want to make sure they're good.
You're right.
And I bought stuff before and it leaks and it's not worth
Yep.
it. So I said, you know what? Everyone speaks so highly of WeatherTech. So, okay. Look them up online. Oh my God, they're 3 times the price. 3 times the price of any other company that I can find on Amazon.
But they're highly rated and they're local, and you're supporting not only local business but made in America products.
Yeah.
So you decided to buy it, right?
So to be honest, that's exactly why. Like everything there, plus it was like, you know, the word of mouth, the social proof aspects. So yeah, I'm gonna buy it
Everybody
because
raved.
and it's also the marketing theory of if I'm spending more money, the quality is more,
Absolutely.
and therefore I will have a better experience. And this is where it goes slightly wrong. Again, this is my perceptive.
The company did nothing
The
wrong.
the company did nothing wrong.
They delivered the product you ordered.
They did.
And the quality is what you expected. You
It
were
is
happy with it.
for the product.
For the product.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will tell you verbatim how I felt. I got them inside. And they're big boxes,
Okay.
right? They're big boxes because you know I got a truck.
Right.
It's a bed mat and floor mats. It's big tall boxes, and I open it up and I slide it up. The mat falls down, and I'm like a kid on Christmas morning who just got socks. He grabbed the box and goes. And I remember this so vividly. Like I turned it over and I looked inside, and I was like, "There's nothing else."
What were you expecting?
First off, like a receipt or maybe a postcard being like, "Oh, here's 10% off your next order." Or
Can I ask how much you spent?
for the floor mats and the rear mat, I think it was close to $600-$700.
Okay, so it wasn't like a small chunk of change.
All the other
It's
companies I was
serious
looking
money.
at were like 150.
Gotcha.
For everything.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So this was like I think it was like 690 something. So I dump them out, and I'm like, I spent, and thank you for bringing that up. I spent a lot of money.
Yes, that is
Like,
a lot of fucking money.
Uncomfortable money when I just bought a car. And I'm looking and I'm like, it floored me how angry I was that they didn't even send a sticker.
Or a thank you or a coupon.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing.
those are like the basic level things that I
Yes.
was expecting. But then I was like, where's my sticker? Where's my sticker for a brand that I don't even want to promote, that I'm just going to put on my fridge in the garage and no one's ever going to see it?
Oh my God.
Where's my free sticker? Where is my free 12-cent sticker?
And can I just tell you my point of view from this? And what was funny is that for months, it might have
yeah.
been even close. You just every time we went downtown, we drove by the billboard that says WeatherTech
On
and
90.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're like, I hate them. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like you were so angry that I was afraid to ask the first couple of times. But like,
really? I didn't
yeah.
tell- oh, okay.
No, I didn't know why you hated
I was just
them.
being belligerent for no reason.
No, because I assumed that you had a bad experience and I wasn't going to rock the boat. And I'm like, okay, I really don't need crabby Jaysin driving
Fair,
downtown
fair,
with
fair,
me. So I'm
fair.
like, okay, oh, sorry. And then like the fourth or fifth time when you said that you hate them, I'm like, why? And then you explain the story that it's about the stickers. And I'm like, how am I business partners with this insane person?
Utterly agree with you.
But it sort of makes sense in the grand scheme of things when you see that, like, I spent like $30 or less on the little bags that I was just talking about,
right,
and I
right.
still got free shit, you
Yeah.
know, and good customer service. So for $700, you expect something. So I do see your point that, like, you were disappointed, but you were like more than disappointed. It was anger.
I was vindictive. I was
told
belligerent.
everybody how much
I
this company
did.
sucks.
And I always had to explain it. It's not that they sucked, it's that they didn't give me stickers. And I was so stuck on the thing. It's like, well, where's my WeatherTech sticker? And it's like, why would we give you stickers? It's like, because I just want a sticker. And I'll put it in a box and I'll never use it because I have that box over there full of stuff that we have.
Hold on. If WeatherTech is watching, could you please send him a sticker that says, I hate WeatherTech?
Or say like, I hate Jaysin, but really love WeatherTech. I would put that on my camera gear.
I would put that on my car.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh, I that would be on my camera case. Every client would see that. That would be
So
amazing.
funny. Oh,
And then
it's
we
so
have a little
funny.
hashtag to get back to this episode to explain the joke.
There you go. Yeah, this is how you find out.
This is how you find out.
You want to know more? Click here.
Oh my God, good
That's
marketing.
so funny. Like, that's still my favorite story ever. Like, it's ongoing because your hate never subsided.
So let's come back to the thing that you mentioned right before because we actually have a list of other things and positive things.
Yes, positive. So
I swear most of this episode is positive.
Can I talk about the camera? Like, I already kind of mentioned
really
it.
quick. I want to talk about your hatred
For
your connected discontent for WeatherTech
because of you.
because of me. Like why did that happen?
I didn't know that it was about the stickers. Okay, so you said it so many times that you hate them.
Yeah.
Like I hate that company. Like anytime we drove by anything or even I'm like, oh, those. I got in your shiny new car and I was like, oh, you got new,
They're
mats.
nice. They're really
and
nice.
I'm like, oh wow, I hate that company. I'm like, okay. So like you said it so many times. I honestly didn't care why you hated it. I
Right.
just decided that since you're my friend and you're my business partner, I'll
side with you.
yeah, cool. If you hate them, I hate them too.
Get out,
Yeah.
really? Okay, so that's a very interesting theory that I'd like to touch on more because you have no reference.
None.
You have no emotional connection.
No.
But you're standing with me. How often does that happen, whether positive or negative? For brands like,
that's interesting.
I told you about the whole Aleve thing with the orange print versus the blue print.
Yes.
And the orange print charges you $2 more for the exact same thing as
Yep.
the blueprint.
Yep.
And then you got like really mad. Like I remember we were in Walgreens one day and you're like, I hate them. It's like they're being manipulative.
But see, that's straight up. That's what that is. Okay, just because you
that's a
change
fact,
the
though.
wording, that's a fact. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's like the companies do that all the time. But I guess if I know that I'm being ripped off,
Yeah.
like. That Aleve thing makes sense. I'm paying for just like the print because they changed the print or whatever, So now that I know the full story, I don't hate them as much.
Yeah, no, I don't hate
I can't
them. They're
afford them anyway. But it's like, yeah, but
They're
like
4 times the cost.
But I don't have a positive feeling when I see their ad. That's all there is.
Yeah.
So
So I mean that makes sense because you understand the story. But like you had a non-justified emotion to a
Yes.
brand that really had nothing wrong with it, but just because your friend was
yeah, and I guess
Emotional to it.
that's showing the power of word of mouth. Even if it's
Bingo.
negative, and it's like. And there you go. Like you had a perceived negative experience, even though if it wasn't an actual negative
it was
experience.
a perceived negative experience.
And
yeah.
people who have a negative experience are 10 to 20 times more likely to share. You tell like 20, 30 people.
true.
Anybody that'll listen, like if you go to a restaurant and you have a horrible experience, for example, I know we're supposed to be positive, but it's super short. When we were teenagers, like Pizza Hut was like the big thing, right? So we went, like you save money to go to Pizza Hut because they have the new pan pizza and blah, blah, blah. We had such a horrible experience with
Yeah.
one waiter. Like he legit came to our table once in 2 hours. I don't know what was up.
Woof.
I'm sure. Yes. So at the end, we just got up and left and we wrote in ketchup we wrote, "Here is your tip."
Oh, you
and
told
covered
me
the
about
table.
that.
Yeah,
That's
and we
right.
left. We fucking told everybody about don't go to the Pizza Hut at Harlem and Irving
Yeah.
because they have horrible customer service. We told fucking everybody. So we
Yeah.
started going to a different Pizza Hut.
But
when
you still stayed with the brand though?
because it was Pizza Hut and we could afford it. It was like good pizza.
no, fair enough.
At the time, But it's like if I go to a good restaurant, it's like I might be like, hey, friend, let me take you to this good restaurant.
Right.
I tell that friend. I don't tell 20 other people about the good restaurant, just
Right.
like the people I'm inviting. So
So my favorite part of this whole conversation is this is the reason I had this story as the very last thing on our menu, because I wanted to get to the point where it's like, yeah, so your choices matter and what you say about companies
how
matter.
the fuck did we start off in the beginning? This is
I don't remember.
You shouldn't let me talk first. That's the problem.
So, I mean, let's talk about Sam's side job.
I mean, we kind of said that. So,
But like, what is it?
she started an Etsy store, and she does like little makeup bags and stuff like that. I'm sure she has other offerings, but that's like the one thing that caught my eye. Like
They're actually makeup bag. Like that's what they're advertised as.
Yes, they're handmade canvas makeup bags, and you could customize.
Here's the photo right here.
Oh. Here. Thank you, Sam. So then she's like, oh, do you have a preference for the font that you want or the print color or whatever? So I was like, I don't know, like I didn't have enough time or I was in the mood. I'm like, you just decide. We're just going to use it for like, surprise me basically,
Yeah.
So when I brought the thing over to you, I'm like, oh, here's some. And you're like, oh, look, stickers. And you got so excited that Sam included stickers,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, I didn't even notice because I was like, hey, the bag is cute. And I love the fact that the zipper goes nice and smooth. It's not one of those jaggy
The zipper's
zippers.
actually- yeah, it
that
was
makes
really
a big
smooth.
difference,
Yeah, it does.
So, so that was, it met my expectations, but it exceeded yours,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't even have any expectations. So that was kind of, interesting.
That's a good point because I didn't have expectations because I didn't know what was happening.
Yes,
You
'cause
didn't even tell me until you handed it
I
to me.
wanted to surprise you. Yeah, because I was supporting my friend. And then I'm like, we always need extra bags to put stuff in, always. So, and then you got so excited about the stickers. I'm like, okay.
The stickers are adorable. They're like little cats.
Okay. Which is perfect because she has cats. We have cats. So it
Cats
was
are
absolutely
amazing.
perfect.
Did you buy all 4 bags?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure because she said she threw in one for Andrea, which is my wife.
Oh, okay. I totally forgot about that. So no, then I ordered 3. I think it was Carolyn, me, and you, and then one for Andrea. So
Okay.
that was extra. So I mean, because she knows us, right? But it's like you probably couldn't do that, but it was still nice to be thought of.
But that's a very specialized, customized thank you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. That's what goes the extra mile.
Mm-hmm.
Like having stickers, and we'll go other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but we're like what really pushes it over the edge is here's something specifically for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that she actually wrote it out
Yeah.
or bonded it or whatever they do. Yeah, that's really nice. So, of course, you gave it to Andrea. Not only was it a nice surprise for her, you got to be the good guy because you gave her a
Right.
gift, and she's like, and then you told her that it's from Sam, and she's like, oh, Sam has an Etsy shop. So, like, immediately the awareness of her brand is increased because of the free gifts.
And the good feelings
Yes.
associated with the
Exactly.
brand. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the whole idea of free, right? So let's dive into the drug dealer theory, the drug dealer
You're going to tackle this
hypothesis.
one. I'm not going there.
I mean, you always hear
And it's
the joke
true,
or the
yes.
saying. It's like the first one's free, and then you're going to come back and buy from me. And that's kind of what it is, right? Like someone takes care of you one time. It's a complimentary service, a complimentary product. You had a great story about Mylissa.
That's right. Do you want me to tell that
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
Okay. So my roommate, suite mate that I share space
For
with.
your studio.
For my studio, yes. She was cutting my hair, and I was asking her, like, oh, like, do you have time to do my brows? And she's like, sure, so she was like doing my brows. And I'm like, I was complaining that, it's nice when she does them, but like, I don't have a way to keep them like dark. And my brows feel a little naked today. Sorry, Mylissa, because I didn't have time to put them on. But she gave me this brow brush that not only does it like fill in my brows nicely, it's easy to use. It's actually supposed to make my brows grow thicker. Okay.
Like it actually helps them grow.
Grow, and I've already seen a difference. So I'm growing brows a little bit more, and nobody notices, just me. But I noticed, like, even if it's just 1 or 2 hairs, I'm happy. Okay, so and I said to her, I said, thank you so much. I'm like, how much is it? And she's like, take it for free, try it, and if you like it, you can always come back and buy it from me. And I'm like, holy shit, this is great. So every time I take out that brow pencil, I think of her and I'm like, I'm almost out. I have to go back and buy it. And I would never, because she's a boutique salon.
Right,
okay?
right.
So I am fully expecting it not to be cheap. I know it's going to be like 10, 20, 30 bucks, right? I would never pay that for a brow pencil, anything. Initially. Like at Walgreens, if I looked at Walgreens and he could have like all the Revlon shit and all my favorite actresses advertising, whatever, if it's not like $6.99 or less, forget it. I'm out. Okay. I'm going to the dollar store. But she gave it to me for free. I feel good about that experience. I like her. I like the way she made me feel. I like the fact that what she promised that product is actually doing. Okay. I'm going to drop 30 bucks easily without missing a beat, and I'm going to do it happily because she gave it to me for free initially.
And so what this brings up in my mind is something we talk about quite often, whether it's on the show or not. I can't really tell because our shows just kind of bleed into our real life. We have a thing we like to say is like, you don't buy from the brand. You don't buy from the product or store.
Yep.
You buy from people.
People, yes.
And
if you like the people, you're more likely to keep buying from them.
Right. And I know I've told this story before, but I think it's pivotal for this exact circumstance. Is I was in a store with my wife and she was looking around. It was one of those like consignment stores where people like have their little booths and they showed their artists and stuff.
Yeah.
And I walked around really quick and I was like, not interested. I'm going to go hang out by the front door. And I just sat there and I do what I do when I go anywhere. I make new friends. So I just started talking to this woman and she was so nice. And we just started talking. Like I had no idea who she was. And then lo and behold, yes, she's the owner of the store. So we're just shooting the shit back and forth. And by the end of it, I had like 8 things in my arm and I'm buying it happily. I'm buying it happily because I had such a great experience. And it really like pushed me over the edge to be like, no, like I know this human being now. I want to support them.
Yep.
It's I'm looking at these things like, well, I didn't see the jelly over here.
Yeah.
I probably did see the jelly and didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But
now you care more about supporting them.
Right.
I sort of had the same experience when we went to that comic book store that's right next to BB's. What is
Howling
it called?
Pages.
Howling Pages, right? So you were talking geek stuff with him, and I was like, I was looking around because it was interesting, but it's not my thing, right?
Right.
So then he started talking about that he takes people who literally make their own comic book by hand, okay?
Like
and
Xerox.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or kids who like write it out.
Yes.
And then I remember him saying that he gives a bigger percentage to the people. What is it called? It's not commission. It's
consignment.
Consignment. That's it. Consignment. So he gives a much bigger percentage that any. And he didn't say it. He just said it to you, and then you got like, holy shit, that's a really good amount because you used to do comic books, so you know what they usually get is like nothing, right?
The cut is pretty small.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice store. It's in Chicago.
It's really nice.
It's on busy street Milwaukee. So I'm like, so suddenly my ears are perking up that like you're chatting away with that. Like he seems so authentic and so caring and giving. So I immediately started looking for stuff to buy because I wanted to support him. So I didn't want to buy comic books. I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of art. So I started looking at the art. So I ended up spending like, what, 20, 30 bucks on art just because I liked him.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
We buy from people. And more so than that, we buy from experience. You know, like I can like you, but if I don't feel good about buying it, I'm still going to probably not buy it. So
what do you mean experience?
So
the experience.
The experience.
Not from past experience.
No, yeah, correct. Like
Experience
the experience.
Yeah.
So like, you know, one thing, God, I hate how I always say this, but like one thing we always say is providing value for someone. Like Melissa provided value for you by giving you that eyebrow brush.
How so?
Because value doesn't mean price. Value doesn't mean, you know, like my life's better, but it does provide a value for your day. You said your eyebrows are growing back. You said you feel good when you wear it. Like you apologize to her and she's not even here, like for not wearing it right now.
Yeah.
So like the experience and the value of that, you actually feel better. And that's a huge thing.
True.
Like one of the things we always say about the show, like you and me always say, is we want to provide value for the people.
Right.
So like we're having a conversation. We're most of this shit's off the hip, by the way.
Yeah,
Like we don't really have notes.
But we're hoping that our people will take our ideas
Bingo.
and put it
Bingo.
into use, and that's how we provide value for them. Like just taking a small marketing thing, like what happened with Sam or Melissa, that's something people can do right away. Yeah.
Perfect. So value and experience and people buy from people, not just from brands.
Yeah.
So on that note, so some of these are going to go pretty quick, but like Bones Coffee.
Tell me about that.
So I bought a lot of coffee because we have people coming over to the studio.
Yeah.
And I want to provide coffee. I want to provide good coffee. I don't know what good coffee is.
Because
I-
not a huge coffee
I'm not a
drinker.
huge coffee
Yeah.
drinker. I haven't found one that I really like yet. They all taste like dirt. So I keep hoping. I'm more of the white mocha
And what's that you're drinking? Matcha?
matcha.
Matcha.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
definitely not the same thing. But, I bought a bunch of bags of Bones Coffee and they sent me a hat.
Oh, did they?
I've been wearing this hat for 2-3 years now.
I remember, yeah. But like, so you ordered it online, and
Yeah.
that's how you got the hat.
And that's how I got the hat. So it's
Okay.
one of those things that's
So
just
just small thing. How much
wasn't-
did you spend? Can I ask?
probably $250.
Okay, so it was definitely worth a hat. So
Yeah.
so going back to your other experience, like I mean $700 you would expect something. So I
Yes.
see, yeah. Okay.
So what about White House custom color?
Oh yeah, this is my favorite. So there's a company called White House Custom Color, and they do professional prints and books for professional photographers. Like
Like you
actually-
can't just go there like Shutterfly. and-
No,
yeah.
it's not Shutterfly. Like you actually have to submit proof that you are a professional, and then you have to go through like they make you jump through hoops in order to get in. Okay.
I was annoyed by that,
Yes.
but when I saw the
the
product,
product, it's
was sold.
above and beyond.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I've been with them pretty much since the beginning of my career. And when they first started shipping me stuff, it was like 10, 20 years ago. So like my kids were little. So I would open the box, and the first time I opened the box, right at the top is 2 lollipops. So not like the little dinky lollipops.
No, the
like
big Tootsie Pops.
Either Tootsie Pops or the ones with the bubble gum inside.
sorry.
They go
The
back.
bubble- okay.
But usually it's the bubble gum. Sometimes I think it's
But
a
they're
Tootsie
the big
Pop.
ones.
The big ones.
Yeah.
Like the ones that like you spend money for, not like pennies.
On
right?
purpose.
On purpose, right? So the first time I'm like, holy shit. And of course the kids are like, so like they get in the way, but like, what do? I take the lollipops and I hand it to each child, and they're quiet for at least 30 minutes. So I get to look at my shipment, and like good feelings are like, oh my God, they sent pop. So they switched to Tootsie Pops somewhere down the line. I remember this vividly
okay.
because my husband was there once when I opened it, and he looks in the box and he actually says this, "You got Tootsie Pops? Can I have one?"
That's adorable.
I-
I can hear him say
I
that.
know, right? And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know you like Tootsie Pops." He goes, "Yeah, they're my favorite, especially the chocolate one." So like he takes the chocolate one, and I'm like, I hid the other one so the kids wouldn't be mad because I only have one. So then I made a special point to save the chocolate Tootsie Pops for him. Like 5 years on, somehow like they got too big, they got very popular, and they realized that their investment in the Tootsie Pop / lollipops, it was a lot of money, like thousands and thousands of dollars. So in order to
Doesn't
save,
seem right. But
dude, they imagine the customers they have. I mean,
if you're
in the
doing that-
Chicagoland area, probably like 10,000 photographers order from them. No joke.
I don't- okay, yeah.
And they're based out of Minnesota, so they shipped everywhere. Like
and the quality's freaking fast.
amazing.
And
Like
the quality's amazing. Yeah.
fast and amazing. Okay, so at one point they decided they're going to go down to 1 lollipop. People lost their fucking minds. Okay, not only people like me who had 2 kids and I'm getting 1 lollipop, so I'm like, whatever. So I was fine with it, but it's like when I went in the photographer chat rooms, they're like, "Did you guys see what's happening?" And it's like the emails that were going to White House complaining about I think if I remember vaguely, they actually had to send out an email explaining why.
I got it. I got the email.
Right? Because it's like it was no longer like they had to raise their prices in order to keep up with the lollipops,
Right.
So they're like, we'll cut it down to 1.
I remember people in the forums were saying, like, are they going out of business? We have to find a new printer. Like people were freaking out, like the business was shutting down.
It's so ridiculous. But we were so ingrained or what, like whatever the word is, like used to it. Trained, yes. Because like you get the happiness in a box. Not only do you get the amazing product you ordered, you get the bonus, So like you always get this rush of yay, even if it's like very small. So it's like it's just amazing to me that I remember it so vividly, and it's like and like telling the story, like about Roger and the kids and whatever. So that all like gives me that good feeling that I relate to that company just based on fucking lollipops, for fuck's sakes.
And it's really funny that I don't think of them as a printing company anymore. I mean, I do, but literally the first thing I think of now is, oh, cool, suckers. And I could have swore they took them away. Like they stopped sending them altogether. But I mean, you were getting prints more often than I was.
It's been because I drop ship a lot of my stuff to clients. So I place the order like for books and whatever, and I just send it to my clients. Yeah. I don't actually remember the last time I ordered, but I think it was like Christmas cards a few years back.
Oh, that
they
was
came to my house.
Before. Yeah.
But I think there was still a lollipop in there. Because I really would have like told you or written somebody something, if there was no lollipops.
And if I would have seen a billboard on 90 for White House Custom Color, I'd be like, you sons of bitches.
They took away the lollipops.
Took away my Tootsie Pop.
Okay. So
by the way, the red flavor, best flavor.
Okay, if you say so. But wait. Bubble gum or no bubble gum?
No bubble gum.
No bubble gum.
With
just
the Tootsie in it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that Tootsie. I agree with you. Tootsie. The chocolate in the middle, the chewy caramel.
The Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll. In the but no, it's not Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, is it not? I always Tootsie Pop.
Yes, but it's not like, it's round still. So it's still chewy.
Yeah.
And how many licks does it take? Did you ever count?
3. The owl says so in the commercial.
Because you bite it.
That's right.
Okay, I think we should tag White House Custom Color, in this video and like have them comment whether or not they still sell lollipops.
I would actually be interested in that. Yeah. And like I would love to learn their like what actually happened behind the scenes.
Yes. I would love that.
We saw the outlash
yes.
in people.
Yes.
I would like to know like what happened like behind the scenes. They're like, fuck, things are going horrible. There's like a meteor coming. They're like everything's going wrong.
Like who made the decision? It was Bob's idea. Bob's gone.
Gets thrown out the window like in the meme. So before we get into a couple more of these, I want to get into other ones. Because I want to shift this a certain way.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna shift my legs a certain way.
Shift your legs.
Okay.
So I'll talk. Okay. I had 2 my microphones go bad on me.
Okay.
I had something very similar to this.
Okay.
If you've ever watched like my individual videos, I do it up in my office.
Okay.
Which I had a different microphone for.
Okay.
And it's a Shure MV7.
Okay.
And the quality's great. Like it was a great mic, but it didn't have the XLR cables, and this is an XLR, so it's like, really secure, better audio. It had a USB.
Okay.
And the USB port got loose and broke off.
Oh.
And I was really bummed because I was trying to trying to figure out how to open it to fix it. And it's like, oh crap, I have to like solder it or something. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I went online and I talked to other people in forums. And they said, well, contact them because it might still be in warranty. And I did. It was out of warranty. So I was like, shit, that kind of sucks. But then I contacted them anyway. I was like, look, can I get a replacement for this? Like, I'll buy it. I love the mic. It works really good. Can I just...
It's just this
little thing broke. And can I get that fixed? And they said, yeah, why don't you send it in? We'll look at it and then send you a bill for how much we think it's going to cost. It's not much, you just plug in a new port. And I wasn't expecting, like $30 at the most, right?
Okay. And how much do the mics cost? Just
mic was like, I think it was $250, $200. So it was like, to me, it was like, I'm not buying a new mic. I just want it fixed.
Right.
So, I send it off. I don't hear anything from them at all. And I'm kind of like getting worried. And it's been like a week and a half. Like I don't get the email that says we got your thing, right? So I kind of put it on my mind for a day, and then I got the email that says we received your microphone. It is going, like, we're going to fix it. And I was like, cool. That night, I got a package I don't know if like the email was late or anything, but I got the package that night when I got the email with a brand new mic. Brand new, like in the box, perfectly sealed.
Wow.
And a lot of things went through my mind when I got it. I was like, one, the customer experience of that is holy shit. I had a small break and you got me a whole new mic. That's epic.
And were you like expecting a bill? Like, are they
Well, I was
charging you?
still expecting a bill. And then I opened it up and there was like a receipt inside. It said, this is a replacement mic for your thing. And with a handwritten, thank you for choosing Shure. That was
So
it was
zero-
really nice.
$0
No money
for a new mic.
for a brand new mic.
Wow.
And I had the mic for like 2 years,
And
right?
ever since the replacement, it's been working great.
It's been working great.
Okay.
So I bought other Shure mics
Yes.
because of that.
And that's what we're using
That's
currently.
right. So, and I know it's probably their protocol. Be like, does it take? If it's going to take you more than an hour, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Send a new
just
one.
Send a new one. Yeah.
But I don't care because I'm not privy to that. I got a new mic. Therefore, I feel like you gave a shit about your customer, even though my shit's out of warranty. You gave a shit.
Yep. And look how much more money you spent.
And look how much more
now
money I
you're
spent
talking
because of
about
them.
it. And that's what you recommend to everybody that like asks
do.
about the mics.
I absolutely
and
do.
you gift those mics to people
I
who are
did.
starting podcasts.
We just did that
Yes,
as well.
Yes. So wow, that's a really good story. I love that. That's above and beyond. That's like the
Right.
best thing. Yeah.
So the same thing happened with my other mics. You know those little mics we use for for our Unfiltered show? Those kind of went bad because I would plug them in to get all the data off and it got corrupted. And all the files got lost and it sucked, right? And I was really bummed by it. And I see like, look, like this shouldn't happen. So I contacted Rode and they sent me a whole new set, brand new.
Wow.
And it's like, oh my God, this is such a good company. So like, they're like my other go-to. Like I won't buy another lav mic because I love them so much. So I don't mean to talk all up Shure and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
enough about Rode, but
Yep.
it's just, that is such a huge positive experience. And do I expect that now? No. I still expect like, look, I bought your shit. It's not warranty anymore. I will pay to fix it.
Yeah.
But when you do that, it feels like you give a shit about your clients.
100%. And I just thought of another small little White House story because it's like aside from them giving lollipops and like good product, it's every time I hate talking on the phone, but sometimes when I'm like, it's an emergency, I call them.
Yeah.
Like usually the emergency is caused by me, clients expecting Christmas gifts and it's like 2
Okay.
days before Christmas and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to order. So I'm like begging them on the phone and like, could you please like ship this like in 24 hours? Because usually it's a book.
Oh, that's right. I remember this.
It's 3 days to produce the book and another 2 days for shipping. And for Christmas, that day, the usual days is like maybe double because they're so busy, right? So I was on the phone practically crying to them because of my fuck up. I said, listen, there's no way I can face this person because like they spend so much money and like they are expecting it for Christmas. They're giving this. And they're like, well, we'll see what we can do. Not only did it get there on time, it got there early. They produced and shipped within 24 hours. Granted, I paid extra for the shipping and I was willing to pay whatever they wanted just to save my ass.
Yeah.
But I got the email that night that the book is shipping tomorrow, which usually would take more than a week.
Wow.
I was blown away. So they will forever have my support and I will always keep buying from them. And they just raised their prices. I wasn't happy, but I understand, and I'm not going anywhere else regardless.
There you go.
Yep.
I'm just making notes real quick.
Okay.
Pharmacist. But before we get to the pharmacist,
Okay.
you have another printer story that did a rush job for us for our Christmas
For Christmas cards, which was another fuck up of mine. Yes.
So give him a shout out
Okay,
because that deserves it.
This is thank you, Gary, from Sharper Printing in Morton Grove. So we were ordering our Christmas cards, and it was supposed to be a fold-out card. And I sent it to him, and he's like, "Cool, I'll get this printed ASAP." And how many cards was it? 300.
I mean, it was a
lot.
ton.
like 300 cards. And I'm like, I'm all happy because it's like ready and I'm bringing
And
it
we
to
got
your
it
house.
early.
Yeah, and we're like ready to stuff envelopes and ship it out that day. And I open the box and it is one-sided card.
One-sided, not a four-sided open up
Yes,
card.
so it wasn't a
It was
card that
a
you
card,
open
piece of paper, printed on one side.
one side.
Yeah.
And he actually said, "Is this good to go?" And I said, "Yes,"
no.
because I thought he meant the design. I was, then this is why you should always double check my work. ADD. But so I begged and I pleaded. I'm like, Gary, please, yes. He redid it. There was no extra charge. What's interesting is so then he sends proofs all the time, right? So he's like, "Can you please make sure that this is good to go?" I was dealing with some family drama at that point.
Yes, you were.
Yes, like my mother or something was going on, and he knew I needed it ASAP, and he took the chance,
Yeah.
and he's just like, he wrote back, he's like,
Yeah.
"I'm just going to assume that you approved it so you could have it for tomorrow." And then he fucking printed 300 more cards for me to pick up
Like
the
that
very
day.
next day. Yeah.
That was
so then
remarkable.
I came back, and then they were still out on time. So thank you, Gary, from Sharper Dot Printing, and thank you, Megan, for recommending Gary, because that's how I know her. Yes.
okay.
I mean, him through her.
He was outstanding.
Yes, and the whole company is. It's a family-owned company.
Okay,
And
okay.
it's like, and they're like behind a Menards on Morton Grove, so they're local. We just recommended them to on one of our brides,
Yeah, it's true.
to Amy and John. Amy's looking for some banners to print, and she's like, "I want to support local," and we're like, "You need to go to Gary."
That's
you
right.
know, and so.
And then they're like, I literally
Yeah.
canceled out my other printers, like
Yeah.
in my little like note cards.
So question,
Go on.
how are you okay with Gary not giving you any extra stickers?
Gary, it's not about the extra stickers;
Okay.
it was about the experience.
Got it.
He gave me value for like one. The paper was great. The price was very reasonable,
And he answers everything in a
And
very
he was
ti-
good.
oh,
And he was good with our type of communication.
yes, which let me clarify, Jason's type of communication, which is like if I send an email, I want to reply 5 minutes later. That's
Yeah.
your communication.
But if you call me, don't ever expect a phone call
Right?
back.
Exactly. So Gary was like very fast and
Oh, he was
very
so good.
responsive. Yeah.
And very thorough. Like he was really good.
Yeah. Like here's the paper, here's the print, the font, the quality. It's like, love them.
Okay. So it was a great experience.
It was.
Pharmacist. My pharmacist.
let's
Okay,
hear
so
it.
I think this will get me into like the next whole section here. My mom died recently, and it was not a fun experience. Value really low.
0 out of 10. Right?
Zero. I would not recommend.
Would not recommend.
There's a lot of good things that came before it. I got to hang out with her for a long time. That's literally that, and your own family experience. Like that's why we stopped doing these for a while. That's why you didn't hear from us for
Yep.
a few months.
So as long as you're talking, I should maybe say my husband actually passed away 6 months ago too. So it's been a shit couple of months for us. But and we apologize for not keeping up with everything we should be. But if there ever was an excuse,
Something you and I always said when we started the business was family comes first.
Always.
Absolutely, family
Always.
comes first.
Always.
So sorry for not having more, but not
not
really.
really, no. Because, yeah. So it's I'm so happy that like we had each other to rely on.
agreed,
Like
agreed.
I went through it, you were there for me, and hopefully I was there for you. But
Oh,
it's like
very much so.
But now it's like, and I love coming back to this, and going like, because it's like. It brings me joy. I love talking about this kind of stuff, and I love talking about how ridiculous your sticker story
Oh, yeah,
is,
yeah.
It's like, I know in the grand scheme of things, it's very minute, but anyway, back to your pharmacy story.
So I will tell you about the hero that we met.
Okay. Do you want to mention
right
what
before
pharmacy it is?
my mom. Yeah. So long story short, my mom needed liquid morphine.
Mm-hmm.
Liquid morphine is not something you can easily pick up everywhere.
Right.
She also needed another kind of morphine, which is very specific, which is a high dose, which again, you can't find everywhere. You learn a lot when someone's going through cancer.
Right.
So I was calling everyone. I was calling the insurance company nonstop for like 2 solid days. Like they knew me when I called in. And I was calling every pharmacy in the book, every pharmacy within like a 50-mile radius of where we lived, where my mom lived. I was calling downtown Chicago. I was like, where can I get this? And like, we couldn't find it in anywhere, right? So I get a phone call back from one of the insurance companies, like Medicare. Yay. Sorry for what's happening to you guys right now.
Right.
And I get a phone call back that said, hey, we found a place. And according to your address, it's odd that it took this long to find it because it's literally the one right next to her house.
No way.
It's less than a mile from her,
No
her
way.
house. So Marengo Pharmacy on 20 in the town of Marengo where my mom lived had it. They had everything.
Wow.
But, they got the information and then they said, well, we can't do this a certain way. So it was like 3 hours of just banging out as many phone calls as I possibly could. Like, what can I do? What do you need from me? I will drive anywhere. I'll do anything. If my mom doesn't get this, because pharmacies, like the insurance companies, they're not open on the weekends. So that means my mom would be without painkillers during stage 4 lung cancer,
Which is
at the end of her life.
yes.
It was a no-go. I wasn't gonna do it. So I am doing everything in my power. And this pharmacist just goes, hold on a second. And he stops what he's doing, which, by the way, they're busy as shit.
Well, no.
Okay?
Yeah,
He
okay.
stops what he's doing and he goes and gets on a phone for like 45 minutes. And he comes back, he goes, I'll have it in half an hour.
What?
And this dude, oh my God.
Were you at the pharmacy?
I was at the pharmacy.
my
I was
God.
literally camping in the in
Yeah.
the parking lot,
Yeah.
making phone calls.
Yeah.
And it was such like an amazing experience, but I don't want to put down the insurance company either because they were honestly trying to get this
Right.
to work.
They have rules to follow.
They have rules to follow. So basically what it all came down to was the doctor miswrote a number
Are you kidding?
because morphine doesn't come in this exact number. He meant to get like multiple pills at the same time, but he
Gotcha.
never said that. So everyone's confused.
Gotcha.
Doctor went home, is not answering his phone.
Oh my God.
So the insurance company and the pharmacist were rock stars. And we got it like I think like the pharmacy closed at like 7. I got it at 6:58, 6:59. I got it. And like they were hustling to get it done. But they have like procedures, right? Because
Do you know
can't
how
just
he got it done?
phone calls, talking, they figured something
Okay.
out. I got home, I gave my mom medicine and she was not in pain.
Oh my God, I want to cry. That is unbelievable.
It was insanely stressful. I was on the phone
I
from
remember
like 8 a.m.
I
up
remember
until
you texting and you were just
I
so
was
upset.
so furious.
Oh my God. Yeah, because it's like you want to help the person you love that is
Yeah.
going through some shit and she can't run around and get it done.
Right.
So,
so
my God.
either of those two people could have said no because my job says I can't
Yes.
do this. And both of them said, nope, the right thing to do here is to take care of the customer.
That's amazing.
Right?
That's amazing.
To take care of a human being. Another human.
But I just want to say for the record, knowing you weren't a dick to anybody.
No.
You were
No.
just like, you were probably begging and pleading for help.
I was rash.
You were, yes, but
was
like,
vocal.
yes, but
But never a dick.
you made them, you understood that it's not the pharmacist's fault.
Right.
It's not their fault. It's like, they didn't know whose fault it was until somebody figured out that it was a wrong thing
And it
written
took them
by the
hours
doctor.
to figure that out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the doctor didn't mean to be a dick either.
I know.
Mistakes happen,
Correct.
but it's like the level of frustration you must have experienced. I'm so sorry.
I mean, like
Yeah.
I don't even care
But
about how I felt.
so-
She got the medicine.
Yes. So customer service for the win here.
Customer service
Yes.
for the win.
And props to Marengo Pharmacy.
You're damn right. I think his name was Brian, but I don't remember
Brian.
because I'll be honest. Brain was not really
No
working
kidding.
at that
If
point.
if you remember, you should go back and give him a good Google review.
That I have not done
Mm.
yet. I do have full expectations. I have a small list of people I'm going to make cakes for or buy those bundt cakes for.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah, so they're getting one of those.
That's awesome.
Spoiler alert. For the chance that they're one of our watchers.
Is it nothing but bundt cakes?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I had that once at a wedding and I lost my mind and then, allergic to gluten
Yeah,
bullshit. I
sorry.
think I was allergic to gluten then, but I looked at it and it was all spongy and everybody was losing their mind and it was the end of the night. stuck 3 in my bag. I went home. I let the chips fall where they may. I was already home. It was not pleasant afterwards, but boy, did I enjoy them.
So let's not go down that
No,
visual
we're
story.
definitely not. No.
But you brought up a story about Jiffy Lube. What did your Jiffy Lube experience?
Yeah, so this was a few years back. I don't know when, but it usually I used to go to like the local like a very small shop where it was like $19.99. It was like in a little strip mall, whatever,
Okay.
because I was broke as fuck. So, but for some reason, like I think I was like going to Michigan to visit my mother, and I was right near a Jiffy Lube. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just go in. I know it's like $39.99 or whatever, but I'm like, I don't have time to price shop. Let's just get it done quickly. And I said, are you guys busy? And they said no. So they got me in right away. So I'm like sitting there like fuming about the extra money that I have to spend. But I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it. But what was interesting is that like right away they opened the door for me and they showed me to where I should wait. And I'm like, okay, there's a waiting room. They gave me a cold bottle of water, asked me if I needed anything else. And I sat there. And then literally in like 10 minutes, they were done. They're like, okay, miss, your car is ready. And then they opened the door when I got back in my car. And
It's
then
a nice touch.
yeah. And then I saw them remove the little paper that they put in because whatever, the guy was driving the car for like 3 seconds. I'm like, cool. And then he's like, and just so you know, as a courtesy, we washed your windows and we vacuumed the carpet. I'm like, I have a clean car and fresh oil change and a bottle of water and clean windows for my trip. I never was so happy to pay double the price for anything. Okay. It was just such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it made me feel so good and taken care of. And every time I drive by a Jiffy Lube, that specific Jiffy Lube, because it's close to my studio, I always think, I'm like, oh, that was such a nice experience. And I'm sure I've been back, but I don't remember how many times. But like that first time made such an impression
Yeah.
that I was just blown away. So that's like the extra customer service. Like I think the beauty of this comes in like with the unexpected things that they provide. If they say pay double the price and we'll give you a free window wash and free vacuum, I'd be like, bitch, no thanks. I can do that myself.
Right.
But the fact that they did it.
They just did it.
They just did it. It was so unexpected and I was so pleasantly surprised. And that just increased my happiness level so much that
Right.
I was like the whole way to Michigan, I was thinking about the bottle of water and what they did for me and the door opening. I mean, that's such a small thing, but it made me feel so special.
And this is something that you can teach a business. This is something that you can like enforce in your business.
Mm-hmm.
And you brought up exactly what I wanted you to say is you don't need to tell people you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's an added, and you can still charge for it.
And I'm sure it's built into the cost.
Of course
you know,
it
with
is.
the training and everything.
No working business isn't going to do it.
Exactly. But the fact that it was a surprise.
It was
that
a surprise. It was that added value factor, right?
And also like the way they were treating me. I felt like I felt special. I'm like, who the fuck opens doors anymore? You know, like Roger's done it a few times. You've done it a few times. And I was like, oh, this is nice. But I'm like, these are people I know and I know that they love me. So I wasn't expecting. And I remember that the guy's attitude too, like it wasn't like, you know, it was like, oh, he's really like a positive person.
Yeah.
I don't think he was faking it, but even if he was, it was pretty believable. And
go.
the water, and it wasn't like cheap ass cold water, it was like really good, clean cold water on a hot
Yeah.
day, and it just felt
Yeah.
so good.
So
you know?
what do you think that all cost? The extra of it?
Bottle of water, 50 cents to $1.
Oh, no, I mean that's what we pay.
Okay,
What
so-
do you pay for a bottle of water? Maybe like 20 cents.
20 cents if I buy the case.
Okay.
20
And you know
cents.
that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
So 20 cents
20
plus
cents.
maybe like 5 minutes of vacuuming.
Yeah, 5 minutes of vacuuming, 5 minutes of window cleaning, so an extra 10 minutes.
All right, 10 minutes and 20 cents. And the time to open a door and
Yep.
treat you well.
Yep.
They just made a customer for life
Mm-hmm.
on probably $2.
Yep.
A customer for life Because now you're telling me, I'm looking at Jiffy Lube like, well, why am I going to this other place when they do not do shit? And then anyone watching is thinking that too. This is the whole reinforcement of the social proof. You know, I didn't like WeatherTech. You didn't like WeatherTech. You love Jiffy Lube. Now we love Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, that's true.
It's for $2.
Yes. And
It's absurd.
if you and this was like I said a few years back, so like in my mind, oil changes were $20. For them, it was $39.99. You know,
Right. So it was double.
and I was perfectly happy with that price. So they could literally charge me double just because they gave good customer service
Bingo.
and something extra.
Bingo.
You know.
So I want to touch on customer service and the car industry.
Okay.
So I bought a Hyundai
Okay.
last year. And I will say this is the best car I've ever owned.
Okay.
A Hyundai Palisade. Hyundai Palisade.
Yes.
I love this car. I am head over heels in love with this car. I thought since I was buying a brand new car, I thought the experience would have been a little bit better. It was lackluster to say the least.
Why?
But well, I mean, so I went in, you know, I ordered the car ahead of time because that was when you couldn't find them. And I'm sitting at the desk with the guy. The guy was nice, but nothing out of the ordinary. He offered me coffee. I don't really drink coffee, so he's like, okay, well,
He didn't offer you anything else?
No.
Not even water?
no.
Ooh.
So I thought about that too. I'm like, you don't have like
Diet
pop
soda,
or
lemonade, anything,
something?
yeah.
Lemonade. So as the thing went on, like I'm just excited to have the car, and it
Right.
didn't really dawn on me until like days after that. I was like, well, that experience was kind of shitty. I was kind of bummed by it. I was even like making them a video to like show them how much appreciation I had, and then halfway through the video, I'm like, I can't think of a single thing that I really enjoyed about the experience other than getting the car.
So you were excited about the car, but
was
the
excited
whole
about the car.
experience was okay.
So when you buy a new Hyundai car and you want the warranty, you have to bring it back like every 15,000 miles, right? And you have to pay to do the service on it every 15,000 miles.
You just
And-
told me about this, and like my stomach
Yeah,
is
yeah,
in
and-
knots just
yeah.
fucking thinking about it. Oh
So
my God.
the first time I went, I was thinking, because my wife bought a Kia 11 years ago, and when she takes it in for like, you know, when they have like that, like the recall stuff, like something was going wrong, we're bringing it back in. They detail the entire car inside and out. They make it smell nice. It looks phenomenal.
When they do a recall
An
and they fix it,
11-year-old car.
wow,
It comes out of the shop and like, that looks beautiful.
wow.
Okay. So I was thinking, well, that happened to Kia, and technically Kia and Hyundai are sister companies. So I'm thinking, well, that's cool because I'm going to get like a nice clean car because I bought a brand new car less than a year ago, the first time I went in, and I get it. Nothing's done. The windshield's not
Wait
done
a minute,
anything.
but you need to tell the people that the reason why you have to bring it there is to
the reason I have to bring it there and to pay money is to keep the warranty.
keep the warranty active and valid. Because
Yes.
if you take it somewhere else, it
Correct.
It
Or
voids,
if you miss it,
if you miss it, it voids the warranty.
Yeah.
And how much are you paying for this?
it depends, but it's roughly about $500 to $1,000. It's absurd. It's absolutely
And they
absurd.
do what exactly?
Well, I mean, they're going through like they're replacing the oil, they're replacing the air filter. You know, normal shit, right?
Great.
I know.
And that
I
would
know.
be like
Trust me.
$100.
Trust
at
me.
Jiffy Lube.
I still love my car.
Yeah.
I love it.
The car's amazing, but it's
However,
what the shitty
the
business that's tied to
yes.
it. Oh,
And I was driving all the way down to Joliet, which is an hour away from where I live. And I thought, well, that's kind of shitty. Literally, there's one in town here. Well, I'll
Yeah.
take it to the other one. So the second time I went, I took it to the other one, the one in town.
Yeah.
And it was the same experience. Nothing was done to it. Nothing out of the ordinary. Never felt like I was taken care of, other than there was a nice waiting room. I don't give a shit. I mean, yes, it's a nice thing.
yes.
But I don't give a shit.
Yeah. It'd be nice to have clean windows or something.
It'd be
right?
nice to have a clean window.
Yeah. For that kind of fucking money,
That
oh my
that
God.
you have to do.
Oh my God. They better be washing the underneath of my car and the wheels for that kind of fucking money. Are you serious right now?
So
That's bullshit. That's why I'm never buying a brand new car. And I just want to say that I bought my used car. It was like a couple years old when I bought it at CarMax. It's a Kia Sportage.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I bought the extra warranty, which was $1,500 for like 5 years.
So smart.
And you just pay a $50 deductible, and everything that goes wrong from bumper to bumper is replaced, except the shit that it has normal wear and tear, like the brakes and whatever.
Right.
But I have a cracked window from a rock hitting it on the expressway, so I know I'm going to go in and pay $50 and get a brand new window with no other charge. So I'm just imagining like how pissed I would be if I had to pay $1,500 for a fucking oil change and some filter shit. I would lose my mind. Never.
I don't.
But you
I don't blame
did. But you didn't know this going in, did you?
No, didn't know until I was signing the paperwork.
Oh,
Yeah,
and you're already committed at that point, which is extra fucking
because
shit.
you already had to put down $5,000 to lock in the car because they couldn't
before they ordered it.
Yeah, before they ordered it.
Wow.
So a bad experience, great car, but bad experience. I want to get back to my mom really quick.
Okay.
Just because how companies treat you after you've already become a client. And I think I can't tell you how many times people, I guarantee anyone watching this, and I guarantee you have too, where it's like you have internet, right? Whatever you have at home.
Yeah.
And, a year later, there's a new deal for new customers for a great price, right? It's
Yes.
well, hold on. I've been your client for a while.
Where's my great price?
Why don't we get the price too? And they're like, well, that's only for new customers. It's like, that means you don't give a shit about me. That's a huge
phone companies do that as well.
issue.
But I don't know if you noticed recently, and I'm gonna be mad at myself for not remembering. It's either T-Mobile or AT&T. One of their new marketing campaigns is, you don't have to be a new customer to get the new customer deal. All customers get it. So if you want a new iPhone for $99, all you have to do is just hey, I want a new iPhone because I've been with you for 10 years,
Right.
So I do respect them in that.
Yeah.
So they took that, what everybody's pissed about, and made it a great marketing.
The problem, yes, it is. The problem is that people have been bitching for decades.
Yes.
It's a little too late for me to give a shit.
It is. However, props to them. And I can't fucking remember who it is, but yeah, I know. I get pissed every time I see a Verizon commercial, because I have Verizon had it for ever since I
Same.
had cell phones. Yeah, but I'm like, so I go in and I'm like, deal. I'm paying way too much money. He's like, let me see what I can do. So I'm there for 45 fucking minutes to
I know.
save $20, and I want to punch people in the face.
Yep. I've had a lot of bad experiences with Verizon. I have AT&T internet, and they keep jacking up the price. We were paying $80 a month, and now we're $125 per month.
Just call and threaten to cancel.
The problem is I can't. There is no alternative. I have to have fiber in order to work.
But can't you just say, I'm going to cancel?
I don't like that. I know that's a real philosophy.
I'll do it
I
for
know.
you.
Okay.
But yeah, I hate that. That's bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're making a profit even at
They're
$80.
making a profit anyway.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is how businesses take care of you afterwards. Okay. And we're gonna get back to a few other things, but I really want to touch on these. When my mom died, I had to take care of all of her finances. Right. I was her only family.
Right.
So I had to close the bank. I had to close. We're still running ComEd out there, Nicor, and all that stuff. But I had to cancel all her credit cards. And one of the things going up to her passing was she was so afraid of me getting the debt of her credit cards.
Right.
Which, by the way, public service announcement: most debt dies with the person. We actually went to a lawyer to verify this, and that's true. Under a certain threshold, credit card companies won't come after you.
Yeah. It's just not worth it for them.
It's not worth it because it doesn't make them any money.
Hiring lawyers and all.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it was under 20,000, per credit card or per debt or
I think
whatever.
it was 5.
No.
Oh no, sorry, it was 10. It was 10.
Okay, let's
it was
say
10 for credit.
Okay, 10 for credit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said even sometimes 20, depending on the company
Right.
and how desperate they are.
Right, but he also said don't take that as verbatim.
Exactly, because it's not the law and it's not
Correct,
facts.
correct.
He was just giving us advice on
Yeah.
hey, just can you let it go?
So please
without...
don't take that number as
exactly.
what it is. So here's my experience, and I was dreading it too because she had some credit card debt, and I was like, "Fuck it!" I know legally. I looked online. We talked to the lawyer. I asked ChatGPT. That was the end all version there. Debt dies with the person. So when I call Capital One, they kind of run me through a lot of things. And she had 2 credit cards with Capital One. And we have to go through a lot of information. I got to send them the death certificate, which I was fully expecting. But they kept like, like wanting to do this, wanting to do this, wanting to do this. And I felt kind of shitty about it, but not bad. Like they took care of me on the phone. And then immediately I called Chase and I tell them the story because she had 2 credit cards for Chase. I tell them the story and they're like, oh, I'm sorry that happened. Like, I'm sorry, I forgot to say this. Capital One said, oh God, I am so sorry. They have 100 of these phone calls a day.
But it actually sounded
But
very
Capital
sincere.
One sounded like they gave a shit.
Okay.
Or at least the tech I talked
Yes,
to.
exactly.
And she was like, I am so sorry you're going through this. I'm so sorry she passed. And so then they made me do a lot of stuff. And I got off the phone feeling good. I felt positive, right?
Right.
So I called Chase and they're like, I am sorry for your loss. Please send us the death certificate. I was like,
So obviously they're reading a script.
they're reading a
and
script,
They don't give a
which
shit.
again, they're getting paid,
it's fine.
whatever,
It's fine.
whatever, right? Then I call Spectrum. Spectrum was her internet company. And I say, hey, look, I totally forgot to cancel this. I'm sorry, my mom died, a couple weeks ago. I need to cancel the service out there. They go, okay, well, you got to send back the stuff. You got to send back the router, the modem. And I was like, I understand. And of course, I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just wanting to get it done.
Yeah.
And I said, like, they just billed me that day. They billed me that day. It was $90 for that day. And I said, I need to stop this billing. They're like, well, it already went through. And I was like, okay, I'm telling you right now, I'm not paying it. It's like, well, you already did. It's like, I can charge back. And he got like kind of pissy
the
about it.
attitude, though. Oh my God, that's so
Yeah.
rude.
Now, I've heard nothing but negative things about Spectrum for years. This solidified it. So he got me up to another customer service. The next person was a little more human. And they said, okay, we'll give you a refund once we get the parts.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll get back to that in a second. No, forgot to do it now. I sent them the parts. They send me a mail saying your account is closed. Here's your refund of $5
What?
on a prepaid credit card that goes bad in 1 month.
Shut up. Wait, I thought the refund was like $99 that
It
you
was
paid.
$90 that I paid.
So what's with the $5 refund?
I don't know. They gave me back $5 for being on service for 1 day. And on a prepaid credit card, which I fucking hate.
Oh my God.
Because most places don't take them.
Yeah.
And it expires in 1 month.
That is such utter
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah. So I was really let down by that. So then I got the Chase letter and it said, oh, your account's been closed. And then it was an entire page of advertisements. It's like, hey, you closed this account, but consider opening these other accounts. And my brain is
God.
like, you're literally
Are you
sending this
joking?
to the son of a mother who just died and saying, keep doing business with us. And I got really sick.
Unbelievable.
And then I got the Capital One letter. The people I actually had a good experience
Okay.
with. I don't know who they have on their marketing team, but they deserve a fucking bunt cake.
Okay.
Okay. A nothing but cake. Okay. I got this letter. It said, we have closed your account. You don't owe a single thing. And then it was a paragraph of how sorry we feel for you.
Oh
I
my God.
have the letter upstairs.
Oh my God.
I kept it. And they didn't have to write. I'm sure it's a copy and paste.
Yes.
I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter.
It was perfect.
Yes.
Especially dealing with 2 other shit companies that made me feel shit during
Yeah.
a shit time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Capital One, I don't really like their cards. There's nothing on there that I like. However, that is fucking gold. That is so damn.
Yeah.
I love them
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. It makes you feel like you're being treated as a human being with feelings, and sympathy. Can I tell my Chewy story?
Well,
Kind of
hold on.
related to
I got
that?
one more.
Okay, one
Because
more.
it's the exact same
Okay.
thing. Our cat died 5 years ago. we didn't know he was dying.
Aw.
We took him to the vet. We were like, what's wrong? Oh my God. You know, like we knew he was having troubles. And then the doctor basically kind of looked up at us and said, it's time.
Oh no.
And we were like, oh, I was not prepared for this.
You thought he was just sick?
I thought I was just sick. Like we had no fucking clue. So it shook us so hard. And like putting him down was so hard.
Was this Bugsy?
Yes.
Oh my God, you were devastated.
Oh,
I've never seen you like
it
that.
wrecked me. And a week later, we got a card from the doctor who actually was with us, handwritten. And it's one of those, like, you know, I'm sure there's a form for it, but I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because he did it.
Yeah.
I still have that on my board upstairs.
Yeah.
5 years later.
Yeah.
And that's what it means so fucking much to me, that there was another human being. And I'll tell you this, putting an animal down is really fucking expensive.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I know.
It was like $1,200. And of course, like losing one of your best friends and then like, I don't have this money in my bank account.
Yeah.
That's a horrible day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like that card made me go, you know what?
Cool. And you're still going to the same vet?
I still go to the same
Yeah.
vet.
We had similar experience with Boomer. You know, we had to put him down because he was old, and it was obviously devastating. And what I wasn't expecting, like a thank you, like it was like, thank you for choosing us. We're sorry for your loss. And they did the same thing, like signed by the doctor by hand. But what other extra thing they did that really surprised me, they said, in honor of Boomer, we paid for whatever, and there's a tree planted in Forest X or whatever. So there, I know I don't want to cry about it, but
I don't remember you telling me that. That's so nice.
I totally forgot until now. So it's like, not only did they send a card, that they actually did something in his memory, you know, and very specific, like, you know, like, so I know that they're not just making it up, you know. So it probably cost them like $5 or whatever to plant. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was just that extra step, you know. And I was just like, it was so heartwarming. And I literally have the card next to his picture in my like special display area. Yeah. So
I'm glad you kept that.
Yeah,
Do you
of
still go to
course.
the same people?
Of course.
So
Dr. Bailey, love her.
Dr. Bailey.
Dr. Bailey, I love her. Yes.
So tell me about Chewy.
Okay, so I don't order from Chewy, but I know that you do.
I do.
Yes. So
Quite a bit.
I was when I edit, I watch YouTube. So I like to watch business things, and one of the things that caught my eye is that how this company does minimal advertising yet has the best customer retention rate. So of course I clicked on it, and I'm like watching the story, and it was actually not them talking about it. It was somebody else. Like, I want to say Mark Cuban. Okay.
It was one of those people.
Yes. So Mark Cuban was talking about how simple it is if you kind of think outside the box. So he gave the example of Chewy. So you can just buy stuff from Chewy. You could have it delivered monthly, and you know, it's like you don't have to think about it. You set it up. So of course, a lot of people have set it up. I'm sure you do too, where it's monthly delivery, so you don't have to think about it. Food just arrives when you need it. But unfortunately, people forget to cancel when they're dealing with the death of a pet.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens is that the food arrives, and you're like, now it's like a heartbreak almost, because like it's reminding you that your pet is gone, right? Yeah. So you call Chewy because like, let's say you, like for us, it would just be like, we don't have any more dogs. So then like you say to Chewy, I'm sorry, my dog just passed away. I forgot to cancel it. They say, oh, we're very sorry. And then they ask you to keep the food and donate it to a local shelter, give it to somebody who can use it. So you're like very thankful that, you know, you're not wasting that money at least, you know, because it's like food's not cheap. It could be anywhere from like $15 to $50 depending on what you buy. Just
our cat bags are like 80.
Yeah, well, you have a lot of fucking cats, but you know, for like a one, but even it doesn't matter. It's just like not, you don't want to deal with money issues or worry about that, you know, at a time like that. So like you feel good about the refund.
Yep.
But what really blows people away, and this is what keeps everyone coming back, is that soon after you get a card that says, we are so sorry for your pet's loss, using their name, you know, like being very personal. And it comes, not just a card, it comes with flowers. Okay. Yeah. So it could be whatever, let's say $25 for the whole thing, including shipping, because they probably buy it volume. So it's just the thought that counts. And it's the unexpected and the extra step and the personalized thing. So it's like all these things, it's like, you will never go to another place, that's not Chewy. You might buy food elsewhere or something different, but a subscription service, that ships to your house, that's forever going to be like burnt in your brain that this is a company that not only gives me stuff that I need on a reliable basis, this is a company that gives a shit about me and my feelings and my pet.
And your family.
Because your pets are your family.
Yeah, right.
So I feel like they give a shit about me and my family.
Not just getting paid.
Exactly. So I'm sure Amazon would never do something like that.
Yep.
So
Me too.
Shout out to Chewy.
Yeah, and Chewy's earned my business over the
Yes.
years. And does my UPS guy or FedEx guy, because it comes to
Oh
FedEx.
my God.
My FedEx guy knows.
You have the big heavy cat. Oh my
we
God.
do like 20 bins at a time. And I'll say like this, they have those refill cat litter. I don't know why I'm going off topic like this. No, never mind.
Anyway, yeah. It's heavy. The UPS guy is broken because of your cats.
He said it one day too. He's like, man, can I just drop these off in the middle? I'm like, yeah, I will come out and pick them up. That's fine. I get it. We looked into like the best customer service experiences in 2024. And most of the ones we looked at were like, I don't get why this is considered good. Because it was just standard shit.
Like
it was just
stuff that you should be doing anyway
it's the stuff
instead
that
of
you should
like
be doing.
bragging about it.
Yeah. Like, okay. So, and that's the other thing is like, you brought it up before because you didn't know. It's unexpected, right? So if you don't know what you're being treated to and it just happens, it becomes that much more valuable. It becomes that much more special.
And it elevates your experience and that
highly.
interaction. Yeah.
Highly. So we're going through the list of like the top 10 best customer experiences. And you and I were just looking at each other like, we do more than that for a $500 gig.
Yeah.
Like that's low. Like anyway, it doesn't make sense. But one of them kind of caught my attention, and you and I have different opinions on this. So I want to touch on this.
Okay,
real quick.
which one is
the
it?
Ritz-Carlton has a thing called the Mystique database. Okay, and what they do is they basically harvest your information, and they say, like, you like your temperature at this level. When you enter your room, you like these kind of very specific sheets and pillows. You like to have this kind of snack inside your room, this type of bottle of water,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. Like they get to know you.
Right. Well, because
I have issues with this.
and I don't, because it's like the Ritz-Carlton is a lot of fucking money. It's like $3,000 to $5,000, maybe more. I don't know. I don't go there, but it's a lot because it's sweets and it's a big deal. Yes.
Okay. Then this even more misses the mark for me.
Maybe I'm misspeaking, and maybe you could like put a note here if I'm wrong. But it's not cheap. It's not like a downtown Chicago hotel, unless it's the Ritz-Carlton. But
I was gonna say that.
Exactly. But it's a lot of fucking money. So it's like if I can afford, let's say $2,000 for a hotel room suite, right? I expect my pillow to be the same fluffy that I like at home. I expect the temperature to be the same temperature that I like at home. I don't want to call down and be like, can you send up somebody so my temperature could be better? Okay. But you disagree. Why?
I don't disagree. I agree with what you're saying, but you just said it exactly with my argument. I expect all of that, especially since I'm paying for it. I expect it. None of that is, to me, goes above and beyond. That's standard.
That's standard for the Ritz-Carlton. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's why.
So why do you brag about it?
I don't brag about it.
No,
They brag about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they brag about it, or is this just something that they do? I don't ever remember. Well, I don't go there, so I don't know. But it's like I remember other people talking about it. I've watched a documentary about it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
So and this was different because it was in England, but it's like it's the same type of hotel thing, and they will literally, like, if a kid wants, like some sort of special dessert, and they will send somebody to go get it even if they don't have it.
That was my story.
That happened to you. I know.
So, but here's my issue with this, and here's why this one is different than everything else we've talked about. You have to enter that information. You have to tell them.
No.
How?
They will remember. They will take notes when they.
But how do you tell them what your favorite candy bar is? What your favorite
because that's what you order for whatever. Like, they're not literally bringing candy bars randomly. You order dessert, or you order the candy bar, or you buy it at the shop, and then they keep track of it. So I don't think you fill out a survey saying this is what I like.
Okay.
They just remember with the interaction that they have with you.
So
okay?
how do you find? Oh, the
So-
same thing with the pillows and the sheets. then.
Exactly. So when you call downstairs and you're like, this pillow is not, because I've slept in some pretty shitty hotels, and I'm like,
Fuck, I get it. No, I get it.
you know. So
I've been there.
when I find a hotel that I like, and I want to keep going back, especially if the pillows are comfy and whatever. So I'm like, I'm not like I'm wanting to, because like I'm paying $99, you know,
Yeah,
so it's,
right,
it's
right,
not
right.
expensive. But it's like, wow, it's really nice that the pillows are comfy. So I can only imagine if I'm paying $2,000, not only is the pillow comfy, but it's the right kind of comfy.
Right.
If I usually sleep with 4 pillows, but the hotel only provides 2, and my first time at the Ritz-Carlton, I called down, I'm like, could I please have 2 more pillows? And
They
the
keep
next
tabs
time
of
I
it.
go, there's
There's 2 more
4
pillows.
pillows waiting
Okay.
for me. I am like, fuck yes, these people
Okay.
know how to do business.
I think my big concern here is like, yes, that sounds like a great thing, but you're also paying astronomically for that if that's
Yes,
the kind of
so
price for it.
I guess-
but that doesn't seem like a big database to keep at like a normal hotel. Like Marriott,
no.
I have a Marriott card, so
Yeah.
I get bonus points
Yeah.
for it, right? So if I go to a Marriott, you know how easy it is to keep a spreadsheet of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, but I don't think they don't make enough money to keep a spreadsheet.
Probably,
Yeah.
but my point with this is like that Ritz-Carlton thing, that's expected. And once you expect it, it's like, well, that just becomes a part of the service then.
Exactly.
It's no longer...
And I guarantee you that if somebody has been going to the Ritz-Carlton and they've been getting 4 pillows for
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
and one day they forget, oh, believe me, they're going to be super fucking pissed. So I understand what you mean
Right.
about expectations
Right.
versus like a surprise.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
So
yeah.
like literally, I didn't even think about what makes this the extra step, that what actually it breaks down to, until you started talking. You hit all these words, and I'm taking notes. But what it comes down to for everything is the extra mile, and that's what every business always says, go the extra mile. It has to be unexpected. It has to be an extra step, and it has to be personal. Like
it's for them specifically.
it's for
not
them
something they offer.
specifically. It's not, So like even your
Yeah.
Jiffy Lube thing, I guarantee they have a checklist: offer water, open door, blah blah. But it's to you.
Yeah.
So it's your experience.
Exactly.
So unexpected. So when I open up a box and I get free stickers, it's unexpected. It was not part of the online thing. Nowhere on the website did it say, if
Yeah.
I buy a shitload
Yeah.
of coffee, do I get a free hat?
Yeah.
I just got it.
And I kind of want to mention this, even though we're not supposed to talk about our own businesses because we're giving other business examples. But
Yeah.
this kind of, with all the shit that we went through, that we told people, like, obviously my pictures are coming in a lot later than
Yeah.
So this client has been incredibly patient. Michael and Jennifer, thank you, like incredibly. And
Amy and John too.
Amy and John.
Need to throw that
Fuck
out
yes,
there.
Amy and John. They're getting bonuses.
Literally exporting their film right
right
now.
now. We speak, yeah. You were working on that one.
Yeah,
I was
as soon
coming
as
over.
you got
yeah.
here.
You're like, hold on, I'm almost done. And so Michael and I text instead of email, So he's like, hey, how's it going? So I've been keeping him updated, and it's like they've been super understanding. They're like, take your time. I'm like, oh my God. Same for Amy and John. So it's just so heartwarming. So
Good people.
Michael said, he asked me, he's like, I know we're getting our album, our parents' albums included. And I said, no, they're not, but I felt so bad. I'm like, yeah, parents' albums aren't included in that package. And then I said, however, you've been so extremely patient while I'm going through this stuff
it.
and like the waiting on your photos. I'm happy to include 2 parent albums, So, I mean, they're not cheap, but I'm like, it's the least I can do,
Yeah,
And
right,
of
right,
course,
right.
Amy and John, you're getting some shit too. You just don't know what it is yet. But
Same for video.
yeah, so it's like you want to go above and beyond for the
Right.
people who like show us appreciation and patience. Now, if Michael came to me and said, my photos are 3 days late, I demand that you give me free shit. I'd be like, listen, So
I mean, but that's true.
exactly. And I've had those kind of customers too. And it's like, okay, just calm down. It's just pictures.
That
but
would be a good
still.
episode. Write down in the comments if you would like us to do an episode about dealing with negativity from clients and customers.
Like how people deal with it, or how we deal with
how
it.
we've dealt with it, maybe some advice, maybe some
how
advice
to.
on how to, and maybe how not to.
Yeah, I
And-
actually like that. I think we should do it.
And if we do that, I would love to hear how you out there handle negative experience. But for this episode, I'm very like that felt very like talk showy. Call us if you want to be on the next No. But for this episode, I really want to hear from other people. Like, what are some ways that you've experienced a business or a brand who went that extra mile, who did the unexpected, the extra step, and something personal?
Or even we could hear from. I want to hear from businesses who
do
go
it.
the extra mile,
Yeah, right.
and like if they get good results from that.
I mean, that's a great thing. And I think the one thing we always preach on the show is, we all rise together. So we'll give the information we have. If you guys can let us know your stories, things that you've experienced, or things that you do for your own customers or clients.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to make the world a better place.
Agreed.
So like everyone grows together. Hilda, thank you so much. This was a great conversation.
It really was.
I really hope you guys get something from this. And I'm going to go hope that the video's done exporting, because I really want to get this filmed.
Oh my God! I think you made it extra long, didn't you? I
did.
Yeah, you did.
I did extra stuff.
Of course you did.
Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe so you know when our next episode is coming up, because we are getting back on track here very soon with not only more consistent episodes, but new shows as well. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. I've been Jaysin from Eo7 Media.
And I'm Hilda.
Also from Eo7 Media. This has been Coffee and Cameras, and thank you so much for going that extra step to watch our whole episode.
Coffee, buzz, and a business plan. Coffee and cameras breaking the haze. Bold conversations cut through the maze. Marketing whispers screaming loud. Branding your name in the faceless crowd.